Hello, Rambler fans, and welcome to another edition of the Superintendent's Corner starring Mr. Scott Acom. How are you doing, Scott?
Doing well. How are you today?
Doing real well. How was your long weekend?
It was nice. I tell you, we're getting pretty spoiled with the weather, though. I mean, it's nice to see the sunshine today.
That's what I always tell my wife. I can deal with as cold as it wants. If the sun's out, it's a wonderful day.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, we had some great sun skies and really got to melt snow off the driveway. Those are two big deals. So, other big deals are going on, especially talking about the weather. You'd sent out a survey recently about 2-hour delays. Can you quickly explain the survey and the results?
Yeah, so we did send out a survey a couple weeks ago regarding the possibility of 2-hour delays. A lot of school districts, I think including McBain, has kind of gone away from a 2-hour delay or a delay because it can cause a hardship for parents if we have a delay and then close rather than just closing. We had 281 respondents to the survey, which seems low, but that's surprisingly a really good return rate on that. And 80% of the parents were in favor. Around 80% of the parents were in favor for 2-hour delays. And did not seem it would cause a hardship for them. That also was right around 80% if we did have to close after a 2-hour delay, if we don't feel like the conditions are better. The one thing that if we do decide to go a 2-hour delay, we're going to make that decision with the thought of we're going to be able to go in 2 hours. Not we might be able to go. It's going to be if we're able to go, so that we can get kids here on time, or get kids here to school safely. We did ask also about a 3-hour delay.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was a little bit less favorable to parents, and in reality, it was less favorable to the school district as well. As we have some kids that would come and report right to lunch, so we could get kids fed. So it doesn't lead itself to too much instructional time. So 3-hour delays, we probably will not utilize, but 2-hour delays, be prepared in the future that we may be using some 2-hour delays.
And on a side note, if we go to a 2-hour delay, my understanding is we will go to the delayed start schedule.
Correct.
Where all the students will still go to all their classes instead of just missing the first two and start going to third. They still go to first. It's just a shortened delayed start.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Question I often get with the delays too, and even the day that we closed early for the half day for the pending storm, we are still able to count those as days.
Okay.
We're required by state law to have 180 student days, and we're required to have 1,098 clock hours. So our clock hours, we have to monitor those to make sure that we're still hitting those clock hours. We do have a little bit of a buffer built in there, but a couple 2-hour delays shouldn't affect the clock hour time.
Excellent. So you talked about this 2-hour delays dealing with weather. I'm going to throw you another subject that's dealing with weather, and that's an update on the track because the weather has played a part in that too.
Yeah, absolutely. We're very fortunate. The weather has cooperated with us. They've started on the track removal. They were up last week pulling all the fencing, and they also peeled the rubber off of the track, getting that ready to go. I'm expecting to see some more work done this week. I'm hoping to see some more work done this week, but it's definitely taking advantage of the weather that's been provided us.
That is awesome. So the track is going to move, and we're asking people to stay off the track or away from there as it is now an active construction site.
Correct.
And so it's not safe for people to just use or to just wander up there to see the progress.
Right.
Just please be respectful for that area. So we got the track. Something else that we had on the bond in the sinking fund was the middle school gym. What's the status on that?
Yep, so the middle school gym floor was on our sinking fund. With the pricing coming in higher with the track and with the secure entries, we were concerned about the middle school gym floor because we also have the asbestos abatement that has to be conducted with the gym. But the board approved that we would proceed with the gym floor. So we're excited about that. They're going to start on that the week after school lets out with the abatement process. That floor has been on there since 1959. So it'll be interesting. We feel like there might be something wrong with the pad, the concrete pad underneath, but we won't know until that floor is up. So, but excited to get that and get a new floor in there for the kids to use. I've been asked quite a few times by quite a few community members about the wood and the gym floor, and if are we going to sell it? What are we going to do with it? Unfortunately, we're not able to sell it. We're not able to give it away because the asbestos is on the mastic, which is the glue.
Okay.
So it's on the wood too. So we are not allowed to give that away or auction it off. So it'll be getting thrown away, unfortunately. We are hoping that we can save the center court, the M in the center court, and have that abated, and we'll be able to put that in a trophy case or somewhere else.
All right.
For historical reasons. Pending on how that comes up, they're also concerned about how that floor is going to come up.
Oh, yeah.
So we're hoping that we can save that center part of the floor.
Well, that's interesting news about that. And
Yeah.
I was wondering about the use of the wood and stuff like that. Well, as we're going along bond sinking fund projects, you are now moving forward with the new high school office, right?
We are. We successfully, you successfully.
Not me, we.
moved your classroom location in Rambler Review Studios, if you will.
And I'll give you a huge thank you. My classroom's a little bit smaller. I got moved to a new, we call it the penthouse, a new area, but the classroom for lectures is a little bit smaller, but we really been able to expand the area for the editing room and make a studio where we are now looking at doing multi-sets and different ideas to continue to grow the Rambler Review. Big shout out to the janitorial staff, John, Daryl, Garrick, and Chris for all the painting and the extra time coming in on Saturday, stuff like that to get the move to go through. So that, thank you very much for the new area. We're excited about the start of the new era of the Rambler Review in the new area for the Rambler Review.
Well played. It's definitely a cool learning environment up there and definitely a good use of space. So we're excited for that. We're hoping that they're also going to be able to start in the high school office since you're out of that classroom soon as well, which is just only going to help us with timelines.
Yes, and so we'll be rolling a lot closer to rolling 100% when school starts because we can get the earlier start on some of these projects.
Yep.
Well, another question that's come up, and there was an email sent out. Parking, the city parking lot, it's not on campus, but there's an agreement. I'm kind of confused what's the parking thing with the city and over by the grain company.
Sure. As everyone knows, the school has some limited parking areas. We have had some students start parking over in the city parking lot on the corner of Roland and Maple, across the road from the school. Talking with the city, came to an agreement with the city that they were able to hold students accountable in that parking lot as well. So they will be held to the student code of conduct in that parking lot, which lends itself to any discipline, searching of vehicles if we feel that there's a need for that. Just trying to create a safer environment for the school and also working together with the city to help create that environment.
Will students need a parking pass to park over in the city lot?
Currently, they do not. I could foresee next year that they would need a parking pass over there. But we do have students park over there. A lot of our CTC kids will park over there as the bus picks up on that end. We are not, it is not our intention to cause any issues or cause any problems, but we just want to be able to hold students accountable.
All right, so that explains that quite well for me. So, we're getting through February. We got postseason events starting next week for the boys basketball team, as they're going to be at Benzie. Then the girls will be hosting their districts here in McBain. Come out and support your McBain Ramblers. But we have a couple other events in March. You have a big announcement about the board meeting.
Yep, because of the extracurricular, I guess, the postseason of basketball, we've always had to reschedule our March meetings so that board members, administration can attend those basketball events. We, at the February board meeting, rescheduled our March regular scheduled meeting for March 18th instead of March 11th, which should avoid that and avoid the cancellations or avoid the rescheduling of the board meeting, giving everyone plenty of time.
So it was a little bit proactive on that one.
It was, yes. Yep.
So, as I said before, if you do a board meeting at March 18 and we try to do another Superintendent's Corner, we kind of have a hard deadline, and that is?
Spring break.
spring break. Can you quick give us the dates for spring break?
Yep, spring break will start on Monday, March 25th, and it rolls through March 29th this year.
For you playing at home, that Friday before spring break's a half day, so the kids will be dismissed at 11:35. If you want to get a little bit ahead of the traffic, if you're going somewhere, or if you just want to realize that your kid will be coming home on the half day. But there's still school that Friday.
There's still school that Friday. We're still expected to meet 75% attendance rates. If we don't, that is a day that we could potentially have to make up. So there is still school on that Friday before spring break. As I know that we try to give people a little bit of if they're traveling, opportunity to head out early. And some people will start heading out Thursday night. So we do expect kids to be at school on that Friday.
All right. So anything else for the good of the cause?
I hear that you may have a good joke for us today.
Yes, I've been working on this one all month. So, why did the burglar steal a dozen eggs?
I don't know.
Because he likes his eggs poached. And on that, you've been watching the Superintendent's Corner on the Rambler Review. Feel the wheel.